Okay, so what's up? So, um, so motherfuckers is doing the craft again. But the thing is that this time, this person used the craft on themselves, okay? So what they're trying to do is that they're trying to cloak their energy so they can create smoke and mirrors, which is illusions, okay? For my baby daddy. Come on, Mace. Okay. I told you this man, he always he always under attack. Once motherfuckers start getting into that, they start getting into that spell work, it's like they can't let it go. It's like they become addicted to it. Okay. So what I did was is that I just stepped outside of the home. Okay. Cause the thing is that this woman is his sister. She is so obsessed with me. She be watching me all the time. She be trying to act like me. She be trying to copy me. She be trying to she study my personality, and she sit in the background and she practice like trying to be like me, because she be trying to appeal to him, because she's really jealous of him. Okay. So it's kind of like when she look, 1010. Yeah, I'm not sending that demon back into the portal. It's gonna keep ripping through that family. So she could forget it. But yeah, she be trying to appeal to him, so she can get what she want from him. But it's just like, girl, I thought you was a practitioner. She's supposed to be a nurse practitioner, but she broke. She always asking, trying to get money. And then she be trying to do the spell work so she can get what she want. Them days is over. Them days is over. She be trying to be slick about shit because she done told so many lies. She's still trying to cover up stuff. She another Diddy. She another Diddy. She feel that shit. She feel it. Now she about to hear it. Yeah. Mhm. So this is how I do with opposition. When I deal with opposition, when I see that he deal with opposition, um, this is what I do. I study it. So what I'm gonna start doing, I'm gonna study it and I'm gonna start teaching it, because shit is about to change for a lot of people. A lot of people are about to start waking up to the realization that you don't live in the world that you think that you do. So my thing is that what I'm doing, I'm reminding him, nigga, you're out of work. You cannot afford to be giving away money. Okay? That's why she trying to pull that illusion shit. She trying to make him forget about his situation and circumstances so that she'll be generous to him. People play on your wealth. You know what I'm saying? And she been doing shit for a while. Cause she been lying for a long time about working. You know what I mean? That bitch ain't been working, but she been lying like she been working, like she been handling her business. Her goddamn life falling apart behind the scenes. So whatever. I did my cards last night, and I saw that devil energy on the outside of the reading. So, I was just sitting there laying there, and I said something is not right. So then when I started moving around a little bit, I was just like, oh, she thinks she's slick now. She gonna try to mask herself. And my thing is, the things that they have been doing to him, every time that they talk to him, they're supposed to be telling him what has been going on. So every time his family, because all of them know about it. So every time that they talk to him, they supposed to be telling him the truth. So every time that they don't do that, they experience immediate backfires. They don't know what's going on because the shit that they was doing at one point in time, they used to always get away with it. That was God giving them grace. And God told me, stay out of it. I said, okay. And see, that's why you must learn to be an honest person. You must not be afraid to speak your truth, because in speaking your truth, you are protecting. It's scary. It's scary because it's hard. You know what I'm saying? But once you get some practice, it'll be all right. You'll be all right. And my thing is that people will sit back and they will watch you, you know, and they're trying to hide in the shadows. You know, if you ever notice how for every action there was some type of reaction, you know, you have to watch the way that people move. Okay? That's why, you know, when I'm dating somebody, we don't do no texting. It's straight calls. Because when it comes to texting, you give people time to think about their answers. You give them time. You see what I'm saying? But when you on that phone with them, it's kind of like, you know, my energy does apply pressure. You have to be honest because I'm an honest person. If I'm being honest with you, you have to be honest with me. So people be experiencing pressure when they're not being honest. That has a lot to do with the energy in which that I have cultivated. Okay? So it's kind of like if you're not matching that energy, I'm going to be able to tell. And people be thinking that they're so slick and so manipulative because they know who I am, so they'll try to sit back and watch me and study me. Then they move too fast. Now they got something to say. And it's just like, you think I'm not going to know that you're trying to use what I say against me? Sit your ass the fuck down. You see, people trying to figure out who I am. When you know who you are, you don't have to spend so much time proving it. Because if you pay attention, there's a lot of contradicting that I do. Okay? Because the thing is that when it comes to me giving messages, I'm being channeled. Okay? So when my spirit guides and when God knows that somebody is trying to set a trap for me, you know, I'm guided to say certain things, to talk about certain topics. And then when somebody try to use it against me, I switch it up. I go to the truth. Okay? So I pulled you in with a lie. You was attracted to that lie because you're a fucking liar. You understand what I'm saying? Once you learn energy, then you will learn how to, I feel like I want to say master it, but it's not about that. It's about using the tools, using the knowledge, using your skills and abilities to, you know, be able to help you know who you are. It's a part of your self-discovery journey. That's why they call it self-discovery. Once you discover more about self, then you discover more of your abilities. What are the messages? Because the thing is that in speaking the truth, whatever illusion or spell work that somebody is trying to put either on themselves or either on somebody else, you break that shit with the truth. Stop fucking lying. Take that goddamn mask off, right? There's power in your voice. And even though sometimes speaking your truth can be scary, when you get practice, you'll start to realize how it actually how it heightens your vibration. Okay? The highest vibration is truth and love. Okay? Oh, look at that. That devil in reverse now. My head's starting to get hot. Right. Because she trying to sit up there and she trying to put on that sweet little naive look, that little baby voice and all that type of shit, you know. But what I'm communicating to him, snap out of it, nigga. Remember she said she was a nurse practitioner? Remember she said she was getting all this money and she was working? Yeah, you're out of a job, so she don't need you. Ain't she married? Don't she got a man? Right. Because usually she'll try to trauma bond with him on something that is kind of like, she be trying to trauma bond with shit that they got going on within their relationships. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, she be sitting back and she be watching me. So, you know, she always be trying to manipulate shit. Now, the thing is that what I be telling people is parallel realities. What I'm going through, other people are going through it too. So it's a collective consciousness. These are the consciousness of my people. So me focusing in and taking care of my personal situations, it's like a boomerang effect to other individuals with my consciousness. It helps them to see, it helps them to move. You see, this is when we talk about collective consciousness. And there are many different conscious levels. I feel that heat. And see, she trying to come to him with that little sweet ass, nice ass energy. And the thing is that, you know, he's very lighthearted. So he's going to give her a lighthearted response. And she's going to be mad. That's what's going to trigger her. You see how the energy transfers? Because it's kind of like me projecting, like, because I have the awareness, it's me projecting, okay, through his subconscious. Because subconsciously, come on, Anubis, okay, so it's it's like me subconsciously projecting through him. It's like kind of like poking at him, like reminding him, don't let her, you know what I'm saying, do what she gonna do. Okay, he's not gonna believe it, so he's gonna test the theory, and he's gonna match the energy. You have to know who somebody is. You have to study the way that their thinking pattern. Okay, I know him very well. You see what I'm saying? He, you know, so he's probably going to try to play it off with some type of joke, like, girl, you the one making all that money. I need to be asking you for it. You see what I'm saying? He gonna play it off real lightheartedly. Okay, so we about to get into this reading though. So she gonna be triggered, but she got to be careful about what she show him, cause if she snap in front of him, that's what's gonna wake him up. Now, the thing is, consciously, he's going to be confused. But later on, he's going to be enlightened to it. Okay? So, when we talk about witchcraft, when we get into the craft, you know, it has a lot to do with the mind. So, you have to be careful that you are not hurting or damaging somebody else's mind. People who are born into, you know, the craft, and I mean, that's their origin. They can do whatever the fuck they want to do. That's why they be doing what the fuck they want to do. Now the thing is that that's why I'm saying you have to know who you are. You have to know your place. You have to know your role and your purpose. Because if you try to go over and dibble and dabble in some shit, you know, and start trying to act like that's yours, that's what you can work with, that's who you are, then you're going to quickly discover that's not the way that shit works. And I mean, like I be telling people, there are individuals who are protectors of knowledge, you know, sacrednicity or secret. Okay, so my thing is, she trying to use the craft the way that they use the craft, but she's not a witch. You see what I'm saying? So she could do damage. My thing is, I know the knowledge of the craft. I'm using it to protect. Okay? Protect and heal. That is me. You know, I can't, with the things in which that I know, the teachings in which that I've had, it's very purposeful. It's to help me protect and to heal. I have been trusted with that. And I could get into some serious trouble if I come out of that. So at one point in time, I had a lot of individuals trying to project the spirit of provoke onto me. They were trying to provoke me. And it's just like, do you know I understand the consequences of the violation of these laws? So you could try to sit here and provoke me all you want to. This is when I learned how to just walk away. This is when I learned how to walk away. Okay? But since we are teaching, you know what I'm saying? Because I usually don't worry about it. I usually don't care about it. You know what I'm saying? Because whatever, you know, everything done in the dark will come to the light. So I don't worry about it. I'm trying to tell you, information just be falling in his lap. He a Libra. If you know anything about Libra, it's kind of like sometimes Libra can be a little gullible, but it's like the truth always fall in their lap. So I don't be worrying about stuff like that with him. I had to learn to stop lying too. You know what I'm saying? Because I just be like, damn, why the fuck he always kept... I was a bad girl. I was a bad girl when I was younger and we were dealing with each other. And he used to always fucking find out. You know, it's kind of like God was just putting a spotlight on me. I was like, damn, why I keep getting caught? So I learned. You know, some people, they just so arrogant. They think that they just so big and bad and clever and mischievous that they gonna get away with shit. But anyway, so is this situation here? Okay, so I went in and I separated the energy so we can see clearly. So it's been canceled. Now the thing is, with the Page of Pentacles, she's supposed to be rising to the challenge of developing healthier relationships. He is her soulmate. So the soulmate is here to teach us lessons about ourselves, to be able to grow within us. Okay, so she's using the connection for her personal gain and benefit, which means that she doesn't value people. She values money, material things. Okay, when it comes to material things, you use material things. You're not supposed to use people. You see, you're supposed to value people and use things. Okay, so now we got that Queen of Swords. That's the mental health. That's going to be the backfire. The chosen one is in a position, is this my crown? This is my crown. I am aware that I am teaching. Yes, I'm trying to teach her. Not really, that's not my intentions. I'm trying to teach y'all. But she, you know what I'm saying? It's a test of her character. Has she learned? She has not learned. You know, practitioners have told her she had a time window to do what she needed to do to get that. You know, it's a lot of stuff. She done built up a lot. We can't even talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like she's still continuing with the stupid shit. Okay? So the Hierophant, the chosen one, this is a test. Yes. She knows that she ain't gonna get away with it. She knows what's coming. She done dropped the ball again. Page of Wands, this is a energetic invitation. This is the King of Pentacles in reverse. So, I mean, okay. her reputation is ruined. So she must be hiding out. Okay, which means that she can't use other people. She can't use anybody around her. It's kind of like when she try to, it's like she can't, it's like she can't fake it no more. So even when she meet new people, she can't manipulate new people. Okay. So then we have the Three of Swords here. Then we have the Ten of Cups. Okay, so so what is this? This is some type of invitation. So it's an energetic invitation, and it's coming from a very jealous, triggered person. Okay, which means that this person, they want to invite me somewhere because they want to betray me in some kind of way. Okay, they want to try to trigger me in some kind of way. This doesn't have to be a physical invitation. It could be an energetic invitation. So earlier, I was being nudged to do a video for a poem earlier this morning, but then something was just like, no, I don't want to. So what was happening is that she was trying to get me out of the house. Okay? She was trying to get me out of the house. She's moving impulsively because she wants what she wants so bad. You know what I'm saying? So she thought that she had got me out of the house. So, but I didn't go nowhere. And no, I'm not going to do that poem. You see how people be trying to set shit up? You see how people be playing in the spirit? This is what you call like spiritual criminals. Okay? So there's another reality to where individuals, what he's going through, somebody else is trying to do to me too. You know, but motherfuckers already know. You know, it's over. You're not gonna hear from me again. I'm not gonna care. I'm done. It's over. You can forget it. Okay? I know I am, you know, I know that I'm chosen. So I know that everything in which that I'm going to be dealing with and going through is purposeful. So to where individuals are taking everything so personal that they see and hear from me, they don't have the higher understanding that God is using them to be the example of what the chosen go through when it comes to opposition. And I'm being used to show individuals how your opposition becomes your footstool. Okay? And why it is important to learn. Instead of trying to run away all the time, or instead of being upset that you have to go through the shit in the first place. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, at this point in time, it's been over for a long time for my opposition. But you know, new levels, new devils. Okay, and the thing is that these new devils, they're going to be playing the same games as the ones on the last level did. The only thing is that this level, people are working with more. So there's going to be more people involved. There's going to be more tools involved. You know, because opposition loves to gaslight. You know, they sit back, they watch you. You know, they're always, especially when it comes to spiritualists, they're always trying to make you think that you don't know what you know, because it's all mind control. Okay? But the thing is that you are born into a life based around mind control. So once you learn how to break through the matrix, then you come into a different matrix of the spirit. So then it's kind of like having to break out of that spiritual matrix. Okay? Yes, baby. And see, every time people try to do stuff, they activate who you were in a past life. So there's a lot of knowledge that begins to just come to you effortlessly. You just start knowing stuff. You just become enlightened and have a whole bunch of epiphanies. Okay? So, I mean, it is what it is. You see, the thing is that when it comes to the catalyst is so well protected because the catalyst is there to teach. But you have people who want to be the teacher. And it's just like, good. I'm glad that you want to challenge the teacher. That tells me a lot about you. Because at one point in time, I was very challenging to other people too. Okay? When you start to challenge things, when you just don't take it for what somebody says, that's a good sign. Okay? And so as the catalyst, that is the inspiration, because I know your potential. Now, the thing is not for me to try to tell you what it is. It is for me to help you teach yourself. Okay? As the catalyst, lead by example. Catalysts, they don't tell people, they understand. It's not about telling people what to do. You know what I'm saying? It's not about, nobody likes to be told anything. Children, adults, okay? It's lead by example. So either they can follow the example or they don't. But at the end of the day, the catalyst has the higher understanding, which means they see the bigger picture. And because they can see the bigger picture, they have more of an advantage. So this is where individuals is kind of like, this is a person that can help you. This is a good person to have in your life. You want to know why? This person, imagine yourself being in the maze. When you're in the maze, you can't, you don't really know what's going on. You have to study that maze. But when you rise above the maze, now you look down over top of it. So now navigation is a lot different. Okay? So now you can guide yourself, you can guide somebody else through that maze. That catalyst is a good person to have in your life. It's kind of like the consciousness of God. This is what you call the Christ consciousness. Well, not really. Christ consciousness has a lot to do with compassion, but the Hierophant also has a lot to do with teaching compassion too. Which is why, even though they're hated and being attacked, they can still teach because of the higher understanding. We all have to be lost to be found. You know what I'm saying? This is why I be telling people, I be like, you know what? You fucking with me, but one day you're going to have to you're going to be responsible. You're going to be in my position, and you're going to be dealing with somebody who's just like you, maybe 10 times worse. So, I believe in you. I want you to make it. But at the same time, that is your choice. Okay? So either you gonna pick it up when I put it down, or you're not. Everybody's process is different. Growth is not something that happens overnight. And after a while, you start to see how seeing shit, it doesn't work. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to realize seeing is not believing, because you wouldn't believe the type of bullshit that goes on in people's mind. But what they're trying to show you is something different. It's unbelievable. That's why people be so conflicted with the back and forth. But when it comes to faith building, it's about believing. It's about believing in yourself. People believe in God, but you've never seen God before. But you know God is real. Now, see, the thing is that you got to take care of your mental health. Okay? You gotta get into you. The more that you get into yourself, You know, well, it just depends on what you want. Because when you hit that phase of know thyself, you know, that's the phase before the hierophant, before you become the teacher, the leader, the catalyst. You know, it's like going from grandfather, it's like going from father to grandfather. Grandfather has a little bit more wisdom. You know, grandfather is more calm. Well, if he's not grumpy, but even if he's grumpy, that's very purposeful. You know, some people are just like naturally stoic, but I'm going to tell you, as we get older, life is supposed to humble us and soften us up. You know, and we are supposed to plant new seeds for the younger generation. But some people just don't get that because they spend their whole life trying to chase down behind money and being miserable because they want to work longer than, you know, they want to work longer than what they have to. You know, when it comes to older individuals, and I get a lot of flack from older people because they just like, yo, young ass, what the fuck do you know? You haven't lived. My thing is that one thing that I do know is that when you get older, life settle down for you. The children are gone. They're out. They're raising their children. You have so much time. You have so much opportunity to regain those years back that you lost. You know what I'm saying? Because you are losing a little bit when it comes to you having to prioritize your family, your stability, your career, your relationships with your children, with your spouse. But now you got some good time. Don't spend, don't spend so much time trying to work the rest of your life. But some people, they do. I don't know. I honestly feel like, after you retire, you should be living a life, you should be cooling, but some people still work. But it's just like, your retirement may not be a lot. Okay, so downgrade. This is how we can walk into something new. You can minimalize. In minimalizing, it's more creativity, because it's kind of like the less resources you have, it forces you to become more creative. But I understand everybody is not interested in that, you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of years of healing that you have missed. There's parts about yourself that you haven't really been able to get into, tap in, or explore. With all of the experience, the knowledge, and we'll just say the wisdom and the experiences that you had within your life, you know more of who you are. So then you can, and even if you don't, this is the time to where you can discover, because you will notice that when you get older and the children are gone, they have the grandchildren, you start to revert back to your childhood. You start to, feelings and emotions, triggers, and all that stuff begin to surface from when you were younger. You sitting up there, you're like 50, 60 years old, your mom, dad may be goddamn 90, 90, 80 something years old, and you sitting up there, you still resenting them for the shit that happened when you was younger. You were distracted. Your life distracted you from dealing with that, so it's coming back up. So it's just like, this is the time to heal. This is the time to relive, recreate, but hey, whatever. Don't try to come from my age. I'm tapped into the ancients, and I have been having issues with older individuals for a long time. I worked in the healthcare field when I was 17 years old. Okay, so I can empathize. And one thing about it, I know one day I'm gonna be there. And I'm learning from all of my experience, from all of the people in my life. And I'm just like, my dad, he do music, he gonna do music to the day he can't do music. That's gonna be me. My mama, she out here recreating new dreams for herself. Just keep going with it. That's gonna be me. I'm gonna take that. Okay, when grandma was here, grandma was unique. You know what I'm saying? Grandma was unique. I'm gonna take that with me too. The shit that I see, that I like, that I want, I'm just like, I want to live. I want to live until I can't live no more. I got people plotting deadly, deadly diseases on me and shit. They want to take my joy. They want to steal that from me. They want me to be dead inside. My thing is, everything that happens to me, I take it and alchemize it, but I'm not going to sit up here and act like I wouldn't be devastated if that shit did happen to me. And it would be real fucked up. But at the same time, my thing is, we need to talk about it. Because a prophecy, God prophesied to me in 2021. God told me that your husband, you're not going to be able to have sex with him. So, through my Kundalini awakenings, through my times with having to practice celibacy, it was because of all that. So a lot of things in which that I have going on, you have to understand, a lot of why I have been built, for how I have been built, it is because of that man. You know what I'm saying? That man. So my thing is, you need to wake the fuck up, and you need to think twice about what you're planning for me. You need to think about it like this, with a higher perspective. If I get sick, how the fuck am I going to take care of you? And take care of whatever family we will have together. Understand, I've had individuals with the same deadly disease in my life. So who you are and what you have going on serves purpose to me. So you don't have nothing to worry about. I already know what the fuck is going on. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on your end, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm ready to put an end to it, because I'm not fucking playing. I was trying to avoid talking about it. But it's like they keep fucking with me. They keep playing with me. I'm not to be played with. And this is not a situation to play with neither. Because I am a gift. I am a gift to that man. My grandmother took care of my grandfather. They got some things to heal on that side. This is what I was created for. And you're a part of that purpose, and you trying to mess everything up. You're not going to do that, because I'm going to tell you, she will be removed. She will absolutely be removed. All right now. So I hope that we have made some sense here today. All right. Until the next time, we'll talk again. Thank you.